From Alan Rickman being a scary Snape,
Don't step on my cloak.
to Hagrid pretending to be a middle-aged woman.
Good afternoon, my name's Maureen.
Here's a collection of the funniest bloopers of the Hogwarts professors. Watch till the end to learn a little-known Easter egg about a fan-favorite professor.
That was nice.
Alan Rickman was a bit too good as Snape. For the first years of filming, he terrified the young cast. The kids feared the actor so much that they couldn't even talk to him.
So it took me about 6 years to flat out the courage to say anything more than, "Good morning, Alan."
Daniel Radcliffe was also scared of the Snape actor.
Alan Rickman was so fantastic. I was freaked, constantly having to remind myself that it's only a film, it's only a film, it's only a film, it's only a film, nothing's real. But it was terrifying.
Yet, it was Rupert Grint who had the most daunting experience with Alan. It happened when they were filming the potions lesson scene.
I was just doodling with my quill in the book. I drew this rather unpretty picture of Alan Rickman.
Rupert never expected to be confronted right then.
Alan Rickman was standing right behind me and I was so scared.
Well, if it was Ron drawing an unflattering picture of Snape, he'd be in huge trouble. But since Alan is the complete opposite of his character in real life, it all ended up okay.
But he was really cool about it. I think he even kept the pictures.
In fact, he did more than just keep it.
I made him sign it, and I have it in my possession. And I'm very fond of it.
The only drawback is that we never got to see the doodle. But Tom Felton shared that he had at least one scary moment with Rickman. Draco had to walk right behind Snape in a scene, and before they began, Alan gave Tom a warning.
Don't step on my cloak.
The young actor didn't even know what to say.
I sort of giggled. Death Eaters and I looked at each other and thought, is he joking?
But then they realized that Rickman wasn't joking.
Next take, the director was very keen for me to walk as close as I can to Alan.
And since Snape's cloak was so long, Tom stepped on it almost right away. Rickman was not happy.
You have to bear in mind his cloak is attached round his neck. Nearly killed the poor man. Then he turned around and gave me a look like you'd never, ever want to see.
After the next take, Tom was saved when someone else stepped on Alan's cloak. But the young actor will forever remember that day on the set.
I'll never forget the words, "Don't step on my cloak."
But hey, Alan's life was at stake in that moment, right? Other than that, the actor always proved what a remarkable human being he was. There was no need for anyone to be afraid of him at all. Well, maybe only a falling victim to his pranks. If you're a real fan of the Harry Potter series, you probably know this story already. But it's still worth mentioning because of how hilarious it is.
Really, really funny.
And for you?
While filming The Prisoner of Azkaban, Dan had the most embarrassing day ever.
We enter completely our own world. You know, it's completely our own world. And we like to swim in the deepest waters.
If you happen to miss it, here's what happened.
They had put a fart machine into my sleeping bag.
This hall echoes.
And Michael Gambon had actually been pressing it during the take, I found out.
Just look how happy the two of them were. It looks like the adult actors were just as silly as the students. They couldn't stop joking around even during rehearsals.
Let them swim in the deepest ocean or glide high above the clouds. He's awake.
Nice catch, Michael. Despite this silly prank, the Dumbledore actor remained good friends with Dan. While filming the fourth film, they even planned to attend an event together.
We're just going to keep the costumes off and just fuss.
He's got the rhythm right. Funnily enough, Michael understood Alan Rickman's cloak trouble from his own experience. He also was almost choked when someone stepped on it.
Sorry.
Looks like he wasn't as serious about it as Rickman. Well, after all, he's Dumbledore, the essence of wisdom and calmness. Most of the time, at least.
You put your name on the goblet of fire. No, sir.
Dumbledore said calmly, you know. His co-star also had a moment of contrast behind the scenes. Here's Professor McGonagall rehearsing the dance with Ron.
Put your right hand on my waist.
Where?
On my waist!
But here's what it looked like in the movie.
Place your right hand on my waist.
Where?
My waist.
It seems they toned it down for the final cut. And that wasn't the only funny moment in the scene.
To dance is to let the body breathe.
Yet it looked like Rupert, aka Ron, didn't really want to let his body breathe.
This way. No, you will have to lead eventually.
According to some Potterverse fans, this dance was McGonagall's funniest scene. Not in the least because it gave us this epic quote.
Behaving like a babbling, bumbling band of baboons.
So, we're gonna join Harry on this one.
Never gonna let him forget this, are you?
Never. Indeed, Maggie Smith portrayed McGonagall perfectly, and the actress got a myriad of new fans after she joined the series.
Yes, a lot of very small people kind of used to say hello to me, and that was nice.
Here's a fun fact. Most of those small people don't even know that she had a successful career for decades before becoming McGonagall. For them, it's like she didn't exist before.
No, I never had.
One encounter with a child fan was especially memorable for Smith.
One kid once said to me, he said, were you really a cat?
Since the question was so silly, Maggie couldn't help but channel her inner McGonagall.
Just pull yourself together. How could I have been?
I wonder how the kid reacted to her answer. However, despite her slightly intimidating look, Smith also had fun on the set, even with the actress who played her sworn enemy.
Blah, 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 disloyalty.
Oh.
Quite interesting that Umbridge's line had blah, blah, blah in it, right? But the two British icons decided to go further with their silly behavior.
Oh, disloyalty. Yes.
It's actually easy to understand why Imelda Staunton wanted to laugh on the set. After all, playing the most despicable character in the series couldn't have been easy, especially with scenes like this one.
3, 2, 1, action.
Staunton was perfect for the role of Umbridge, but you should never tell her that.
In the book, of course, she's described as very ugly and toad-like, and I love people say, "Oh, you'd be great for that part." Thanks very much.
Yeah, that's really not a compliment. Now, let's talk about the professor every fan adores.
Excuse me.
The late Robbie Coltrane was just as nice and kind as Hagrid.
Good man, are you?
A smaller woman than you anticipated.
And also funny. Just see how he made Dan laugh while preparing to film a very serious scene. Well, wouldn't you giggle if a huge man like Robbie behaved like that?
Hang on, Harry.
Or like this? It's no wonder Robbie's co-stars loved him. But sometimes his silly behavior cost them quite a few takes.
1,000, take one.
Was that 1,000? Well, hey! Do I smell champagne?
And one day, the actor shared the biggest secret from behind the scenes of Harry Potter. Turns out that he wasn't who we thought he was.
Good afternoon, my name's Maureen, and I have a terrible facial hair problem.
And it looks like Maureen's issues didn't end there.
My husband is threatening to leave me.
But she wouldn't let him be the first to quit the marriage.
I'm seriously considering leaving him.
Robbie, we miss your sense of humor. Meanwhile, other Hogwarts professors also had their moments of fun and spoke gibberish that's hard to put into words.
He carried on down. I turned around to see my chap, and he was still at the top of the hill.
What? If you want another tongue twister.
And torture. Encountered it myself once in Uagadu.
And here's a fun fact for you. It turns out that this moment of Flitwick's at the Yule Ball was the actor's idea.
I said, wouldn't it be funny if Flitwick did a stage dive?
The director was quick to agree.
He said, we're going to do that. And I said, I was only joking.
Too bad this scene was deleted from the final cut, just like the following one.
How lovely to see all your bright, happy faces smiling.
It's quite a long sequence of Professor Trelawney eating her dinner while listening to Umbridge's speech.
Utmost seriousness. Although each headmaster has brought...
Well, in fact, she wasn't very successful with her meal, and it was all totally improvised by the actress.
practices that ought to be...
Emma Thompson was on fire that day.
Now, as I was saying, Mr. Phillips has asked me to remind you of Maggie.
And for those of you who've watched till the end, here's another fun fact about the all-beloved Alan Rickman. Did you know that he was guilty of stealing props and selling them for tens of thousands of dollars? Yeah, he did. Rickman wasn't alone in his shady business either. The actress who played the Quidditch instructor, Madam Hooch, helped him. She confessed that they snagged several of Harry Potter's Hogwarts letters from the first film. And then they sold at least one letter for $25,000 in LA. Quite a nice business venture, wasn't it?
Lucky man, lucky man.
Share in the comments below who's your favorite Hogwarts professor. And if you want to learn more about the world of Harry Potter, watch our other videos.